So guys, this is the moisturizer that I use. It's Sukin. It's an Australian skincare brand. I'm allergic to pretty much everything, but this one really works for my skin. So it's for sensitive skin. So first up, I'm gonna be just putting some lip balm. How do people do this while talking? Elizabeth Arden. I'm using Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I never used to use primer before, but a couple of makeup artists told me that it's not so bad. So I'm going to be using some. Let's do this again. So for my foundation, I used the Armani Luminous Silk in shade number 8 and 9. So I mixed them together because I feel like it's a much better shade for me if I mix two foundations, as opposed to the lighter one which becomes too ashy, or the darker one that becomes too dark. So I'm just gonna put it on this blending palette. Please forgive me for my amateur makeup skills. So there we go, and then we have the blending brush. So notice that my forehead is slightly more tan than the rest of my face, and I know a lot of people have that problem. So you might want to just go a tad bit darker on the forehead as opposed to the rest of your face. Tad bit lighter. So I like my foundation to be just like this, super natural and not too cakey, because I feel like that looks really unnatural. So yeah, it was Armani Silk Foundation in shade number 8 and 9, which I think is the best, and it hasn't given me any breakouts. It hasn't really caused any irritation or rashes to my skin, so I think it's amazing for all of you girls who have acne prone skin. But I would still, you know, recommend that you do a patch test. I did that. I did a patch test on my back because I was allergic to some makeup and I couldn't put my finger on which product I was really allergic to. So I did a patch test on my back with some pressed powder and foundation, and it turns out that you know, those two portions turn black. So that's what it could be doing to your skin if you really don't test your product, if you have sensitive skin. So next up, we're gonna do some under eye concealing, which I need. And my favorite thing, my friend introduced me to it, is NARS. It's, I think, called it's called Radiant Creamy Concealer, and it's in the shade Caramel, medium dark. Here again, I like to go super natural because your under eyes can look worse if they're over concealed, as opposed to look better if you try and overdo it. So the idea is just put some dots. Sometimes I use the sponge, which is this one, just so I can reach the inner corners. So if you really can't reach the inner corners, you can use this one, which is even tinier, so it really goes into the corners of your eye. But I find this one much more effective in blending as compared to the sponge, but you can really use whatever works best for you. And now for some pressed powder, I use Bobbi Brown This is Warm Honey. It's called the Skin Weightless Powder Foundation. So I just go over with this very fat brush because I think it's really nice because it just sets the whole face in. So that's the pressed powder. Then we're gonna do some brows. Now with brows, I hate doing brows because I feel like they look so unnatural if you make them really dark and too sculpted. So I use this lip pencil, not a lip pencil, sorry, I use this brow pencil, but I think it's meant for other things as well. It's by Savannah Colors, and it has a little brush attached to the top of it, so it's really convenient if you want to travel with it. It's a dark brown, and I just use it to fill my brows in. The thing with using brow pencil is that if it's too harsh, it can leave like strong marks in the middle of your brows, which you don't want. So always go up close and check for those, and you can iron them out with this brush. There you go, natural brows. So, next up for eyes, we're doing I'm gonna do a really cool smoky cat eye today, which I don't know if I'm able to pull off. I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna start with using this MAC cream color base. So you just use it kind of like a primer, but not really. But I know a lot of makeup artists suggest that you should use you know, eyeshadow primer before you apply anything in your eyes, but I just use this as a base, and it's pretty nice because it's natural color. It's literally the color of my skin. So I'm just gonna go with that's the base. We're gonna use this palette by PAC, which is Professional Artist Cosmetics, that I found in a shop. It's a matte eyeshadow palette. I hate using glitter shadow. I love using MAC shadow and all these lovely warm brown shades, and I found this in a shop, and I thought it's amazing because it's just the colors you need if you don't want to do a very intense base for your eye. So I'm gonna try this next. Okay, so I'm gonna use a bunch of shades. So it's gonna be 1, 2, and 3. So this one's a slightly more rusty orange shade, and this is of course nudes and browns. So if you mix them together, you get a really nice base for the eye. So now I'm gonna do, that's my base, as you can see. It's really simple. It's a light smoked out brown, which is quite natural. And now I'm gonna do my kajal for the under eye. I use this really dilapidated little kajal stick, but it's by this brand called Diana of London. it's super, it really sticks to your face, and it doesn't come off for hours, which is amazing. And at the same time, it's a really nice jet black, which I don't think you find very easily, because all the shades sometimes are really like ashy, or they're a bit too stone gray, but this one's like a really dark black. So I'm going to do the under eye first and then the over eye later. The idea is just to wing it just a little bit from the bottom, and then we'll join it when we do the upper eye as well. I think we can use some more of this. Now we go on the top. So this is tricky. So always start from the corner, because it just helps in getting the shape right. I have to stop, it's really sharp. So the idea is to get that shape, but you want to make sure that you keep filling in all the gaps, because your lash line definitely needs to be really dark. That's one eye. I use the Lakme Precision Liquid Liner to just get that tip of the cat eye really precisely, because I feel like it can't be done with this pencil, because it's a little blunt and it might look a bit odd. I'm gonna go with this eye now. This shape's slightly different, which I'm going to fix with the precision liner. So I'm just going to create the tip. And then fill in the gaps. That's done. I think it was Sableen that taught me this really cool trick, because what happens is, if you see your inner eye on the upper lid tends to look a bit scanty, or look like it doesn't have any color in there, so it's a bit, makes your eye water, but it's really helpful. Just lift it and go under your in the inner eye, so that it just fills it in and gives your eyes much more definition. contouring, which I like, but I believe your face shouldn't look too chiseled because it just looks really unnatural, like I said before. So I use this really nice brush by MAC again, which is shaped like for all those people who are not professional makeup artists like me, who need to get the job done with the help of a brush. This is amazing because it really just gets the angles right, and it really works for me. And my favorite bronzer slash contour powder, which I use, this is a bronzer, I use it as a contour powder by NARS. It's called Casino. It's really nice because it doesn't have too much shine, and that's the one thing I feel like people who have a lot of scars on their face like me shouldn't use stuff that has too much shine in it, because it just highlights your, you know, the scars or the marks or whatever you have. So just take some and this is my new favorite blush. It's called Nykaa Get Cheeky in Brazilian Bombshell. So there's a rose and a raisin, which are the two shades, and I'm gonna mix the two a bit and then use it, because this one, as you can see, is like a tan rose, and then this one's is more lighter candy pink. So I'm just gonna dab a bit of this. So there you go. It's not too much, but it's just right to give you that little flush in your face. Okay. And last, one of the last steps is the highlighter by Nykaa again, which is really cool. I love the product. This one's called Nykaa Glow Getter Highlighter Duo in Glitterati. So it's a rose gold and blonde gold together. I feel like it works really well for dusky skin like mine, because it's not too sharp, but at the same time it's really nice to get that little glow. So I'm just gonna mix the two. So yeah, I like to use this one because I feel like it's perfect for dark skin, but you don't want to use too much, because like I said, highlighter can be really tricky if you don't do it right, because it can just accentuate scars that you have and not do what it's meant to do otherwise. The other little trick that I learned is that you can just dust a little bit on the tip of your nose. So it just gives you a really nice glow on the whole face. And last up is mascara, which I love this one by MAC. It's called Instacurl Lash. It's got a really cool shape which really helps you apply the makeup very efficiently, and I think it twists and turns and you can decide the kind of shape that you want that suits your hand best. So here we go. So you really want to go all the way in to the root of your lash and curl it from there. I would really use an eyelash curler, but I'm petrified of it, so I'm not going to be using that. So I use, after I'm done putting on mascara on the upper lash, I use this mascara brush so that we just clean out all the excess that you may have. Because you don't want all the mascara to kind of bunch up. So we go with the lower lash. For the lower lash, I'm gonna use this one by MAC. It's called False Lashes Extreme Black. It's really tiny and easy to get into all the corners. And now I'm gonna go over with some lipsticks. So what I do is I've never used lip liner in my whole life because I feel like it just makes your lips look really strange. But I don't know, it depends on the shape of your lip as well. For me personally, it doesn't work because I like it just to be seamless when I apply it. So this one's by Pat McGrath, which I think is literally one of the best lipsticks I've used in my whole life. It's called Matte Trance Lipstick in OMI 107. It's a nice rose. Not a rose, it's a nice dusty rose. Rose gold as well. We're just going to remove all the excess lipstick from here. And to top it off, we have Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, which please spray it from a distance, otherwise it'll run all your makeup. So it's just... So it sets it all in and really helps it stay for a long, long, long time.